we saw the story of Gyaneshwar, right? And once Gyaneshwar wanted to go for Theertha Yatra. He wanted to go all over India and visit all the Tirtham, the Punya Nadi. So, but he wanted to go along with the Bhagavata. Who's a great Bhagavata during his times was none other than our Namdev. So, Namdev will not come. So, he went to Namdev and asked. Namdev told, I cannot come. Go and ask Pandurangan. He went to Pandurangan and he told Panduranga, I wanted to go on a Tirtha Yatra. Pandurangan told, oh wow, that's an amazing thing. You are all a great Bhagavatas. You have to go for Tirtha Yatra. All the Punya Nadi will become very much divine if you go for Tirtha Yatra. So, okay. Gyaneshwar told, okay, I want to take Namdev along. Pandurangan face became very small. He told, can go alone. No, why should you take Namdev? He's my little boy. I cannot be without him. Then Gyaneshwar told, why did Ganga Devi come down? Because Bhagirathan gave a promise that all the Bhagavata would come and take a dip in your water. That is the reason Ganga Devi came down. And now you are not leaving your great sadhu Namdev to come along with me. And Pandurangan cannot deny anything. He started crying and he just started for Tirtha Yatra. He told Namdev, go and come. And that is the time when our Pandurangan is none other than Lord Rama, right? He felt how Lord Rama's father Dasharatha would have felt when Vishwamitra came and asked Dasharatha for Lord Rama to come along with him. So now Pandurangan became Dasharatha and Namdev became Rama and Panduranga started crying like Dasharatha, it seems. First, they went to Delhi. They went everywhere. First, they crossed all the villages. Wherever they went, whichever village they crossed, they started chanting Jai Jai Vittala, Jai Hari Vittala, Jai Jai Vittala, Jai Hari Vittala, and lots of bhajans and everything they were chanting. They were happily shouting, jumping and going along the path. And they reached Delhi, Indraprastham, which was ruled by Muslims. And these villages, when they were crossing, slowly people started following them. So gradually they had a big crowd behind them, full of Jalra sound. Jai Jai Vittala, Jai Hari Vittala, Jai Jai Vittala, Jai Hari Vittala, Jai Jai Vittala, Jai Hari Vittala, Jai Jai Vittala, Jai Hari Vittala. Full of Jalra sound. They were like coming as a big crowd. These Muslims thought they are going to invade them. Who invaded us? Okay, that's a part. And they were sitting in Delhi in one place. The king sent few of his ministers, soldiers, and one of the soldiers brought a cow along with him in front of Namdev and Gyaneshwar. And he told, your God actually took care of cows, right? Let me see if your God can bring back life for this cow. How many days God can bring back life for this cow? Namdev was in some trance. He told Panduranga can bring back this cow's life in 3 days. This Muslim man just cut off the cow's head and he went. Namdev started crying by seeing a dead cow in front of him. Gyaneshwar don't know what to do. They were like totally stunned. He was crying for 3 days. He was crying. And on the third day, the cow miraculously came back to life. And Namdev asked to Panduranga, why did it take 3 days for me? You saw me crying. Panduranga said, Namdeva, I thought you will tell I'll bring back this cow life in fraction of a second. But why did you say 3 days? To keep your promise, I had to wait for all these 3 days to bring back this cow's life. And I have to look at you crying. I felt so bad. Don't you believe me that I could bring a dead cows back to life? That was his bhakti and that was Panduranga's greatness. And another incident, once they were crossing a desert place and it was full of hot sand, no water anywhere. Namdev was very tired. He fell down. And our Gyaneshwar promised Panduranga that he would bring back Namdev properly, fully. And Namdev fell down. Gyaneshwar started crying. Now, Gyaneshwar started crying, Panduranga, what will I do? Gyaneshwar, Namdev fell down. Please help me. He sang a beautiful bhajan, abang there. Suddenly, a chakram, Lord Vishnu's chakram, kind of formed a Theertham there, fell down. It formed, even today you can find, it's called Chakra Theertham. And big water body formed out of nowhere. And Namdev drank that water and he was back to life. Then they started walking back. They reached Bihar. There is a beautiful temple there, Shiva temple, Lord Vaidyanatha Swami temple, and it's one of the Jyotirlingam. And it was Shivaratri time. They were standing in front of the temple and chanting abangs. The priest over there, and they had a big army, I told, big bhajan group in back of them. The priests were very jealous of them and they told, this is a Shiva temple. You should not chant Hari Bhajana here. Get out. Gyaneshwar said, Lord Shiva loves Hari. Shri Rama 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 iti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulya Rama Nama Varani. Who told these words? Lord Shiva told these words. Lord Shiva always chants Rama Nama. He is the first Haribhakta. The priests were not ready to accept anything. So they told, get out. So they told, okay, we'll go in the backside of the temple and we'll go and chant. They went in the backside of the temple, they started chanting. So no one was inside the temple, all the crowd went behind them, Gyaneshwar and Namdev. And the temple was empty, literally empty. And it so happened, they finished all the Shivaratri things fast, and they went home, the priest went home. You know what happened? Lord Shiva turned back, it seems. Just like Udupi Krishna turned back, Lord Shiva turned back, it seems. Now even today you go, it's called a reverse temple architecture. The temple itself is turned. The whole temple is turned backwards. The next day morning when the priest came, they found how foolish they were. They became great devotees of Gyaneshwar and Namdev. That is the greatness of, to show even all the gods are same. It's just that we are separating them. That's it. Simple as that, right? And another incident, now all the Theertha Yathra was over. They had to go back to Pandripuram. Pandurangan missed our Namdev a lot, right? So he started crying. Pandurangan was waiting for Namdev. Just like a Chakora Pakshi will wait for the moon to come. He was waiting for Namdev. And Namdev was waiting to see Pandurangan. All the Bhagavatas, everyone, including Pandurangan, was in the entrance of Pandharpur waiting for Namdev to come to receive Namdev. And they spent so much time talking together. And Pandurangan said, we have to do a Samaradhana. Samaradhana is the thing that you do after you do a Theertha Yatra. Namdev told, whatever you say, we'll do. So Pandurangan told, let's call the greatest Brahmins, the Pratishthanapuram Brahmin. I told the story about Pratishthanapuram Brahmin, right? In Ekanatha Charitram, in Gyaneshwar Charitram, everywhere I told about this Pratishthanapuram place. So let's call them and let's do a Samaradhana, a puja. So Panduranga himself dressed up like a very rich man, along with few Bhagavatas. He brought lots of gold and he went to Pratishthanapuram and said, we are from Dwaraka. We wanted to do a great Samaradhana on the banks of Chandrabhaga river. The Brahmins told, okay, we'll come. They all came and all Panduranga's Ashtamahishi, they were dressed up very well. They were serving all the Brahmins. They were feeding all the Brahmins. And Panduranga also fed all the Brahmins. And after that, after the Brahmins left, they were standing in one place after they ate. Panduranga sat with all the devotees And just like the Leela, Brahmamohana Leela, Samabhojana Leela, where Krishna did and sat with all the gopas and gopis. Here Pandurangan sat and all the bhaktas sat around and they were feeding Pandurangan. And from Pandurangan they were taking and eating. So happily they were. There is nothing, literally nothing. So, கூடியிருந்து குளிர்ந்து எல்லோரம்பாவாய். That's what our in Tirupavai it says. These Brahmins called Pandurangan and said, "You look like a great uh, rich man and everything. You shouldn't eat with these people." Because these people, Bhagavatas, whom we call, are not from a great kulam, or they are not rich, they are not from a great family. They are potter, they are hairdressers, they are everything. They are like literally all types of jobs they were doing. None of them were, most of them were not Brahmins. So these Pesishanapuram Brahmins said, "You have to do a prachitam." Pandurangan said, "Really? Is it? Okay, next Saturday you come, we'll do a prachitam." Next Saturday, these Brahmins came again and they did a prachitam for Pandurangan. And Pandurangan, again, after this feeding this Brahmin, he sat down, he ate like that. This Bhagavatas got really angry. They said, "You did prachitam and you're doing the same thing." He said, "Prachitam I did, right? So I'll do a prachitam next time also. I have lots of money, I'll do prachitam. What's the big deal?" This Brahmin said, Don't you have any sense? Doing prachitam again and again and doing the same thing doesn't make sense." Panduranga said, "These all are Bhagavatas. And one who chants Vitala Nama, one who chants Nama, I am their servant." So that's the point. List like Yajnapatni, Uttharanam in Bhagavatam, as Krishna did. That's the point. The Brahmins understood the greatness of Pandurangan, and they understood this Pandurangan is none other than Lord Vishnu. And the ladies who served were none other than Ashtamahishi, like Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, everyone Ashtamahishis. And these Pusishtanapuram Brahmins, they turned into a great devotee of our Pandrinathan, Pandurangan. Okay, Radhe Radhe Kutis. Meet you in our next session.